What's up, everybody? I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. Um, Welcome to the Coconut Wireless again. Back. It's Thursday, January 10th already. Anyway, guys, round two with Uncle Charlie. Let's go. All right, folks. There you go. You see it. Go ahead and click the like button, subscribe, and let's get this show on the road. Let's bring on Uncle Charlie. How are what, uh,
Right
yeah.
before,
Oh, that was not planned. That was not planned.
no, I'm over here and I said, see, my glass feel funny, and I go like this. Oh, no wonder.
Never a dull moment with Uncle Charlie. How you
Yep.
guys doing, folks? How's everybody doing, guys? Uh, Look at it. Uncle Clayton is here. My Auntie Grace is here. Awesome. Hi, Auntie Grace. Cynthia, the loyal fan. The village rises. Yeah. Eric, what's up, brother? Aloha, Susan and Jody. I want to get everybody on here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Susan says, "Aloha, Uncle Charlie." What about Uncle Mel?
Aloha.
What about Uncle Mel? What did I say? Did I say it was Thursday? Did I say it was Thursday?
Yep. Yep. It's
Yeah.
Thursday.
Sorry,
No,
man.
it's
No, it's
yeah,
Wednesday.
it's Wednesday.
That's right.
Yeah.
My God, jeez, time flies when you're having fun.
Mhm.
No, what's up, my old friend? Good job, buddy. Good to see you guys all on tonight. Well, tonight we're gonna just talk story again. Lots to talk about. Um, and it's a Q and A, folks. So if you have a question, shoot them over for me or Charlie or whoever else. If you have a question for one of the other villagers, go ahead, put them in there. We can just have some fun. Sherry Cummings says it's a council day. How dare you forget? Because I'm getting old. 'Cause I'm getting old. Thanks for showing up today, Sherry, and thanks for your testimony, man. Like Billy DeCosta said, you're always so intriguing, and your information and your knowledge is just incredible. So Laurel says it's a cold Wednesday. I don't. Last night was cold, man. It was chilly. It was chilly, and it's gonna be chilly this week, I think. Pops, aloha, pops, all the way from Colorado, where it's nice and cold. Where it's nice and cold. Can you hear me, Charlie? You look like you're having some problems. Now I cannot hear you, Charlie.
How about now?
Okay,
Can you
now I
hear me
can hear
now?
you. Yeah, yeah. Now I can hear
I
you. Okay.
feel like, I feel like I'm encapsulated in in one of them roller coasters, but there's certain roller coasters that you're not allowed to look out. You're just in a bubble and you got no windows, and you just feel like, okay, it's moving, but you don't know when the drop's coming and all of that. And I feel like I have this on, but I'm moving it around because my toupee, the glue never glued down hard.
Yeah,
But I'm moving.
I gotta say these things. I never thought I'd ever wear these things because it looks too professional for me. But I gotta tell you, man, this is how this is the bomb. This is the bomb. I mean, it
Yeah.
just so crispy, and I hope you guys can hear us. I know you can, but I hope it's crispy on your end as well. But yeah, Wednesday. Oh, hump day, hump day, hump day. All right. Here we go. Jody wants to know. There's our first question for Uncle
Yes.
Charlie. Where is your office at the airport? Looking for you every year. Where is your
My
office?
my office is located in baggage claim B, and if you start from the wall that's closest to the hallway, and it's the door between the hallway and Hawaiian Air baggage service. That's my door. And you'll know when you come to my door because I'm going to tell you that this door is secured. You got to go to the other side for get to me because we don't have a camera there. And there's with so many unstable individuals, we can't take a chance. Somebody knocking on a door, pulling a gun, pulling a knife, that type of thing. So we have to go to
Just
the other side.
follow the empty Snicker wrappers. Just follow the Snicker wrappers, and you'll find his office.
Well,
Guaranteed.
I've got
Oh, here
something
we go.
different than
Here
that.
we go.
No, I I've been
Oi.
flat on I've been flat on my back. I mean, um, I haven't gone into work. Hey, right on.
Yeah.
I haven't gone in Monday, Tuesday, and today. It's
Oh
just
boy.
I just I just and you know me already. I'm just not like that, but I'm so lousy, and my tolerance is like I can stay for maybe about an hour, and then I gotta sit down and put my head back. It's just and the amount of sleep I get, just from coughing so much. I mean, it's like I'll go down at about 10 o'clock, get up at 11, stay up, then go down maybe 12:30, get up at 1. It's been like that. Just other than
Yeah.
that, I'm just glad to
You
be
know,
here
this
tonight, brother.
so many people are struck with this respiratory virus, I guess.
RSV, yeah,
Yeah, and
RSV.
my mother-in-law in Oregon got it, urgent care twice, and I had it pretty bad before we went to Oregon. It went away, and then and now I have this. It's not bad now. It's actually much better. The doctors gave me this new cough medicine. It's a pill that looks like a little fish egg on one sushi, and
Mm-hmm.
it starts with a D. I cannot pronounce it, and that's a magic thing. I don't know what it does. Um, no, I don't have COVID again, Jody. Thank God. It wasn't COVID. My mother-in-law as well. I mean, it wasn't COVID. A lot of people are getting COVID, but it's this other stuff that's going around, and it's just I don't know what Tessalon pearls. Not sure what that is, Jody. Um,
Thessalon, yeah.
What
I've
is that?
heard of that.
Is that a medicine?
Yeah, it's a medicine. Yep.
Tyson Moises. Awesome, awesome. Welcome, brother. Laurel, they named it the
Yes.
100-day cough. Yeah, it's about what it takes. It's about a 3-month cough, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And
Um,
when you try not to cough, you end up coughing more,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And
And if
your eyeballs, you can feel the pressure, like your eyeballs like come out of your sockets.
and they tell you drink a lot of 7 Up. Well, you know what 7 Up does, right? It causes you to pass gas, and you have to. But if you didn't, and you're in the public and you're coughing and you try to hold them back, guess what? You're gonna be you're gonna be doing a ventriloquist poop. That's what's gonna happen.
That's what I miss the most about this show. It's the scientific advice that you get, the medical advice that you get from this show. Second to none.
Yeah,
Patsy is on. Hi, everybody. By the
right
way, Patsy's
on.
birthday is on January 21st. And I'm not going to say how old she is, but yeah.
27. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think
say
it's
how.
27 or 28, something like that.
Mhm. Yep.
Hey, I wanted to put out a couple of announcements. The first one, I was watching, again, I don't know why, Charlie. I started watching the old shows again, our old shows. And yesterday, I was watching the news, and uh, Nick Herbig is going to be a big part of the Pittsburgh defense this week. And
Yes.
Nick and Nate were both on our show several years ago. Remember, Nick was in Wisconsin. He was starting his college career in Wisconsin, and Nate was at the Philadelphia Eagles. And I watched it again, and um, I highly recommend you guys going back and watching some of the old shows, because I heard it differently. I picked up different things, but all I know is those two kids were amazing people, and their words to the keiki that we're watching was just, they're just two good people with a very good family. Anyway, Nick is going to, TJ Watt got hurt, so Nick is going to be a key part, and I think he's going to light it up, and I think the Steelers are going to go all the way to the Super Bowl and win, and this is going to be next year. That's my prediction. Sorry, Tyson, but that's just the way it works. Look at Tyson. He's putting up the Eagles. God bless, man. Good luck. May the best men win. But I got to tell you, I think the Steelers. I really feel because of Nick's character and Nate's character that they are gonna take that all the way and prove everybody wrong. But anyway,
No, but how before you go on, but how wonderful it is to have siblings on the same team.
It's incredible. Now, Charlie,
Yeah.
I was hoping to find, because I thought I was smart enough that I would have
Hmm.
asked a simple question to the brothers when we had them on the show. What would it feel like one day, Nick, to be on the same NFL team as your brother? And I thought I possibly did, but I went through that whole doggone video and I didn't. But anyway, they are
Yeah.
on the same team. And
Mm.
yeah, Nick has had a very good. If you watch the highlight reel, because TJ's so good and he gets all the play, Nick goes in and he gets obviously gets less plays, but if you look at the plays that he goes in, he causes damage. And I gotta tell you, man, I got a good feeling. I got a good
His
feeling.
his attributes and his skill set, for a young man, is all based on speed. Because once he passes that peripheral of the offensive line,
Bye bye.
they're turning and it's like catch up. So you cannot help but clip. They're gonna either holding, they're gonna clip. Um, that's
But
probably gonna be the you
but
know
he has had one of the best mentors in the history of the NFL in TJ Watt. He does, and I think he's ready. Um, yeah, Nick Saban is retiring from Alabama. That is incredible. I'm not sure if he's going to show up on a NFL team. And Pete Carroll stepped down from the. I like the way they say he stepped down, but he's still going to be an advisor. In other words, he got booted, and I think the fans been calling that for a while. But getting back to the Herbigs, two Kawhi boys, yeah, St. Louis high school grads, but they went on and they are in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are giving back. They are coming home to Kauai on February 17th, and they're going to be at the Vidina Stadium. Go to my page uh, and get all the details there. There's a link that you can sign up your kids. I want you guys to share the heck out of this, because when are you going to find a coach? It's a multi-age clinic, so the ages are separated. The times will be based on the ages, uh, and you'll get to see Nate and Nick, um, and they're going to be there to teach our kids, and it's free. Uh, and it's I think their organization or their foundation is called Herbigs Give. But this is an opportunity that we do not get here on Kauai. So again, guys, take a screenshot, do what you got to do. Go to my page. There's all the information there, and get as many of our keiki there as possible. Because not only are they extremely talented football players, they are good people. They are their attitude, their positivity, everything about them is what I want my kids to learn. So please, please, please check out my page, guys. It's all over the internet. Waimea High School has posted. So many people have shared that. Can't wait for the Steelers to screw things up so Nick can sign with the Eagles. That's not going to happen, bro. I'm telling you right now. Nick is going to become the franchise player, I'm going to see if we can get them back on the show after they win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to bother him now. He needs to be focused, and once they win the Super Bowl, we definitely will have him on the show again. The two brothers. Um, I might even have it done here in live. Charlie, we will meet them up someplace and we'll just do it live.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Tyson, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna apologize early. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen.
It's always working with many giving groups and individuals here on Kauai. I've just been very blessed. From food drives to even these clinics, and I know we did one when UH came up, right? And UH baseball players came up and they did a clinic. And the biggest joy I get is watching the kids and the smiles on their face. And even if they're not athletically there, it even like when we do the men's basketball, UH men's basketball, right? And we're in the gym over at Kauai High, and everybody wants a chance just to get up to the players. But even the ones that couldn't, and they just sat and they just were in awe to see what they were doing. It's not often I get tears in my eye, but I'm just so happy the kids are having fun because in our day, in our society today, there's just so much violence that goes on, and yet, being you and I both being former police officers, you wish you could turn off that spigot to stop the violence, but the violence just keeps on coming. Somebody will find a new way to commit a crime. You know, I mean, just watching the news the other day about all the smash and grabs over in on Oahu. You got people starting their business. Now they got to spend extra funds to fix the damages, buy replacement equipment that was taken, right? Then from there, um, purchase new cameras, new lights. I mean, it's going to get to a point they said, you know what, there's no way I'm going to recover. And so that's why, folks, I hope when you have a chance to take your young one and build character from a young age, that as they grow up, that you hope and pray, and more than likely it will happen. You hope and pray they turn out to be good community leaders. This is the foundation where it starts. You get guys like the Herbigs, right? You get the UH men's basketball, baseball, women's volleyball. They come up here, they give off their time. And so, yeah, we get sponsors to help offset the cost of airfare or hotel stays, that type of thing. But you need to get them and you get your child connected with them and let that be a spring, that springboard to get them going in the right direction. And I cannot emphasize that enough. I'm all for that.
I'm with Keala. Amen, Charlie Iona.
Yeah.
Amen. That's an awesome segue into my next topic, which is today at council we recognize the Waimea High School football team, back to back, two-time Division Two champions. Now, for most of you, I think you can appreciate how difficult that is to do. It's hard enough to win your conference or your federation, right? The KIF or the MIF or whatever it is. But then to go on in a small school like Waimea, small roster, to go up to Oahu and play the big dogs and win, and then do it again the next year. And I'm calling it. They're going to do it again. They're going to three-peat. I just and today solidified my prediction because Coach Lino's, Kylie Lino's, and his wife Sherry, who's listed as an assistant coach, although she said she doesn't know anything about football, but her job is to make sure that the kids are taken care of, the staff is taken care of, the parents are taken care of. But Coach Kylie's message today was amazing, and I should have recorded it and play it because I told him after they were done, I said, Coach, if I was a coach today, I don't at any level, I don't care, Pop Warner, high school, college, pro. If I was a coach, I would package what he and his wife said today, and I would show that to the team on day one. Because what he said was, it's not about football. It's not about football. It's about family. It's about faith, and it's about love. And he got choked up. He started to cry. He had to stop and have his wife take over. Now, you guys know Kylie Linoes. He's a tough dude. He's also a brilliant coach. He's an amazing coach. He calls all the offensive plays. He calls all the defensive plays. He has the smallest coaching staff that I have ever seen at any level. And they got to win the championship. But he was saying that the culture of Waimea High School football is that you will love your brother and your sister, and you will get their back, and it is just all the NFL teams. If you watch any sports shows and they interview successful coaches, that is the key fundamental, right? You're gonna play for each other. You're gonna have each other's back. You become a family, and that is the key to success. It was just incredible to hear Kylie say that. And then we had every kid come up, and it was a lot of them. It was a long morning meeting because we and I know some people say that why are you guys wasting so much time on that. I came for the agenda, supposed to start at 8:30, and we do our certificates before the meeting. I will take as long as it takes to recognize these types of activities, these types of people, and the rest of the business can wait. But every kid came up, Charlie. Every kid came up, and we asked them, what is your name, and what do you play, and what was the best part, most memorable part? Every one of them said the bonding that we had from summer camp, the tough discipline at practices, but the fact that I can play with my brothers in the back there was the highlight. And it's just, and it's genuine. It wasn't scripted. It was genuine. And the fact that the coach was man enough to say love, that our team is the culture is based on love, loving each other and loving the community. Ah, man, that was rough, man. It was rough to hold back the tears because it is just so, like, exactly what you were just saying, Charlie. It's exactly
Hmm.
what you were just talking about a few minutes ago. Is that it is we as adults got to put our kids in a position to succeed, and it's not about football. It's not about basketball. It's not about anything. It's about teaching these kids about life and about respect and about love and faith. And that, it was just amazing, man. It was an awesome day. And to give equal time, we also had a certificate for the Rotary Club, the Kauai Rotary Club. They put the Lights on Rice parade, and so we had a certificate for them as well. But I gotta say, man, the Waimea High School kids. That's why I am calling it out that they will be the champs again next year. No doubt in my mind.
Well, there is one topic that I guess too many times where we are quiet about when it comes to our kids, and we spoke about it before on our previous shows, and that is, I know that there are some kids that are struggling. I know that there are some kids that they're not as fortunate with their home life. In fact, some of them are even houseless, and that's what hurts me the most. And now because I get up early when I go to work, it's before I had the opportunity of getting up in the morning, getting breakfast. Waimea no longer serves breakfast at Big Safe, but when they did have breakfast, I was able to go in and I would see these kids, and I would see the fortunate kids by their spam musubi, and there's always one in the group that's left out, and you can just tell by the way they were dressed that they were not so fortunate. And Stephanie and I would always make it a point to kind of get in front of the line at the cashier and just have them pay for, we just pay for everything because I don't want any kid feeling left out. They want to feel a part of, because when they start feeling left out, that's when things start going awry, and we got to reach out. And even if you buy one spam musubi, it's only say $4. You know, Stephanie, everything was, oh, just give the change to the boy. And they go, Uncle, you sure? I says, Uncle is very sure. I want you to have a good day. And that's what I like to do, because I just don't want to see our kids in that position. And I don't care who it is. They can be from the other side of the island. Doesn't matter. Wherever I go, if I see a kid in need, it must be tough for them as it is. But to open up to a stranger might be even tougher. So I just make the move and says, you know what, you don't need to say nothing, but this is for you. Just go enjoy, because I don't want no kid going hungry either. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
bless your heart.
Yeah.
In Pop Warner as a commissioner, and this year was a hectic year. We didn't do a coaches clinic that we normally do, and but at the coaches clinic, I tell all the coaches, and Pop Warner's strict. I mean, if you want to be a coach in Pop Warner, it's you get a background check. I mean, it's just we want coaches that are going to help our kids and not just win football games, right? But I tell the coaches every year, we don't know. We may think we know, but we don't know what those kids are going through in their lives. We don't know. Uh, Kids are not going to come out and talk about their hardships or if they're getting abused or they're just not, right. They're just not going to do it. So a lot of these kids, the only love they get is at the football field or at the baseball field or at the soccer field or at the arts class, the gymnastics class. And we as coaches got to understand that what we say determines how those kids are going to react or how those kids are going to feel. Now, I'm not saying to be marshmallow coaches. What I'm saying is that you don't know where that kid, what that kid has experienced prior to coming to practice. The kid might be hungry, Charlie. He might have not eaten all day and he doesn't have any energy. So when he's lagging behind the pack, why are we telling him, calling him names, and hurry up, pick it up, blah, blah, blah? Because we don't know what that kid is going through. So we got to be very delicate when we are around kids and we're coaching kids or teaching kids, that we got to understand that that kid may have a completely different life that you think he has or she has, and we got to make sure that we acknowledge that. And it's Kiala, bingo. I mean, so many kids today are alone and their parents and families not to be found. And yeah, I'm not saying we don't have bad parents, but a lot of times it's not that they're bad parents. It's just that the parents are working or they're working on life, and so it's we just got to be cognizant of that. It's not 20 years ago. We're in a different time now. Charlie,
You know,
nice
one thing
nice
that,
little comment
wha-
from Melissa. You and Auntie have done so much good for strangers, and you do it from your hearts. Yeah, amazing people, amazing people.
you know what's even more unique in a way is taking what we have and trying to share as much love as we can with many, and hoping that it will resonate and it'll start to grow, right? But that doesn't always happen, and I get it. I get it. But especially when I see kids walking at night, they got no place to go, right? For me, it's their comfort. You're gonna see they're gonna hang around the schools because they know that in the morning their friends gonna be coming. And I always say, hey boy, hey girl, here's some money. Let's go get something to eat. Wait, man, we going to LA now. Not the greatest, but hey,
Hey,
you
it's
go feed
good,
them.
man. LNL is good, man. I love LNL. Yeah, I love LNL. That's good stuff.
So
Probably not healthy,
you
but
you take them, you go eat. You take them back to the school and just say, stay in the light. Just stay in the light. I wish that there was a shelter set up where we can take the kids to that kind of places. Yeah, but there's just not any. And so we got to do our part. That's why even I tell neighbors, hey, when you guys driving around town and you guys going holo holo out kikaha, go looking at the waves. Do me a favor. How's about going down some back roads or going by Russian Fort? Go take a look if you see anybody down there. Just spend an extra time just to see if somebody need help. And I wish I could do it all up and down the coast from the west side all the way to the north side up towards Hyena. Because I'm sure that this situation is not unique only to Waimea. It's
no, it's
all over.
it's
Yeah, it's all
everywhere.
over.
And I did want to
Yeah.
address this comment because it is a true comment. Price for registration is not making that become a possible option for most who needs these programs, whether it's sports or after school. It's unaffordable. You know, it's unfortunate because youth sports has become a business, and I can speak to this because as Pop Warner is a great an organization as it is, and I think I think the best program for football because of the connection and the requirement for the scholastics component. But the National Pop Warner Association charges the league or the associations a per child fee. It's called an assessment, and that assessment covers the insurance and covers whatever they say it covers, and we don't have control over that. And now the league has to purchase insurance as well, uh, for the associations, and then you have equipment, and you have all these costs. My directive to the associations when we had our last meeting before the end of the year was no kid should be denied the opportunity to play Pop Warner football because of money. Period. The associations got to be strong enough, tied into the community where, and it's up to us as the leaders of the associations and the leaders of the league to go out and generate funds in the community so we can offer these kids the scholarships to get on the field. That is what needs to be done. We cannot change the way Pop Warner or Little League or Pony League. These people charge outrageous amounts, and it's become it's a business at the national level. I was on the national. I was a regional director for many years, and I stepped down because I it's very difficult when it is a business. When it's I'm not going to say it's not for the kids, but it's the bottom line for the organization. It's sponsorships. It's endorsements. It's all of these things, and it costs money, and they just pass it on to the kids. So Sherry, you're right. And again, my directive to the associations this year was no kid shall be denied access because of funds. And it's up to us and the league. And there is I am going to be talking about a program that we are working on. And I forgot the paper, Charlie. So I'm going to probably turn it over to you real quick so I can run in the living room and grab my cheat sheet. But we
Sure.
as the league, we need to step up and generate the funds necessary to create this account where if kids are having a difficult time, that we pay, and those that can't afford can pay. And the objective is to get every kid interested. And I'm not just talking about Pop Warner. I'm talking about all across the board. No one should be denied access to a after school event, whether it's scholastics, whether it's gymnastics, whatever, uh, tennis or golf, that no kid should be denied an opportunity to participate because of finances. And that is what we as a community has got to accept and appreciate and help support. And Pop Warner, we're very appreciative because we have been blessed by many organizations in the community, but we got to step up and make sure these kids aren't denied. So Charlie, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, with this opportunity, again, I'd like to say aloha to those who have just jumped on. It's the Mel and Charlie. Well, actually, this is the Coconut Wireless with Mel Raposo, and I'm just so glad to be back on with my brother there. I know there's a separation for some time, but I'm here now, and we are. I just explained to the viewers that just jumped on that, you know, tonight is their night. We were here talking story, and through topics that's brought up, maybe we can find answers if you're looking for answers, right? There's somebody out there that might say, hey, I think I got the answer for that. And that's what we try to do. We try to stimulate the conversation to get answers to problems that we find are going on too often and that we're trying to solve. But, right now, I would like maybe some help with our viewers out there. I don't know if I step on dog poop or what, but I must be the luckiest guy that every time I approach doing traffic heading west, right past Puhi Road and Kamuli Highway in front of the community college, I'm always on the left lane because I don't want to be disrespectful on the right lane because people have been waiting their turn and get cars blowing by. I see that all the time. And every single time, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. And you can only go as fast as the other car in front of you. So I always elect to let people cut in. I can tell you since maybe for the last 2 years, there's been so many cars I let in, but the percentage is very small of those who actually stick their hand out the window and say, "Mahalo, brother, thank you." You know, and I'm over there and I tell myself I shouldn't grumble because I was a dumb dumb there and let them go in the first place.
Yeah, that's I
And
know
I
that's a
just
pet peeve of Patsy, man. When you let somebody, I don't know how hard is it to just raise your hand up and say, "Hey, thank you, mahalo." You know what I mean? Yeah, I tell you, it's changing, bro. This place is changing. I wanted to address Susan. Sometimes there needs to be a way that grades are not part of the whole equation. I know it's an incentive of sorts, but then kids with families that aren't hurting are making it on the sports team. They have more opportunities. Not fair. I just want to explain as far as Pop Warner. Yeah, there we do have a scholastics requirement because that's you need a scholastics requirement at school. I mean, high school and at college. But Pop Warner, we have my wife happens to be the league scholastic coordinator, so her job is to make sure every kid gets to play. And there are uh, the system is where if a kid is struggling in school, if they don't meet the minimum GPA, which is 2.0, they are still allowed to play as long as their teachers sign a paper saying that the kid is progressing. Yeah, they may not be able to hit the 2.0, but they are progressing from the week prior. They can play. I would disagree that grades should not be a part of the thing because I think that is that the emphasis or the emphasis of sports league should be uh, the education. It should be the fact that uh, that's the reward. I mean, you work hard. You work hard not only in on the field, but in the classrooms. In fact, Nick Herbig said it very clear. He said he was approached by coaches at Wisconsin about Kauai kids. He would say, "Hey, Nick, what do you think about this kid from Kapaa or Waimea?" I said, "Oh, that kid is great." And they run the checks and come back and say, "Sorry, Nick, we cannot pick them up because they don't have the grades." So I think it's critical that these kids learn at a young age that it's not all about sports. It's about what I talked about earlier with Kylie Leno saying it's about the family faith and the the brotherhood and sisterhood.
Well,
So
they have to have balance too. I think, you know, for Pop Warner, right? Depending what age level you're talking Pop Warner, between the ages of what 11 and 10 and 11, Pop Warner football,
mhm,
Mel.
yeah,
So, and and even the older grades, and they cannot attain that 2.0 level, to play. Because I remember one time I went and I checked, and this kid was a good athlete, but he was constantly getting like 1.2, 1.3, and he couldn't play. And for the life of me, I said, "Hey, this kid is bright." But when I went to go look at his core classes he was taking at such a young age, pre-med, nuclear science, no wonder he can get past 2.0.
yeah.
you know,
But
so you
it
got
is
to.
an important part of life. I mean, education. Not
I'm
every
only
kid is.
kidding.
No, no, no.
I'm only kidding.
But you're right, Charlie. You're right. I mean, that's my son. That's my son. He
Yeah.
wanted to be a physical therapist, and he didn't realize how difficult it is. And you end up having taking classes where it looks, and when you signing up, oh yeah, I'll get that out of the way. Well, I'll get that out of the way, and then you go to class, and it's like, there was a question about they should bring back PAL League. They are, Denise. PAL is going strong here on Kauai. KPD's done a great job. And if you guys have any questions or information that you want, shoot me a message, and I'll make sure you get the information. But yeah, no, they're up and running. Their flag football program is superb. They have a boxing, a wrestling. They have all kinds of stuff going on right now. They are very strong. So I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through the comments. I'm not looking at you guys. I just want to make sure I get some of these comments going. Yeah, if no grades, no playing in college. Yeah, but that's true. Let's see, student athlete. That's right. I mean, I think that's kind of what it is, right? You got to teach the kid that there's consequences if you don't live up to the standard, and
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
I did want to talk real quick about. We talked about Pop Warner, and there's some very generous people out there. And there's a foundation called, and I'm going to use my notes because I don't want to screw this up, the William, Jeff, and Jennifer Gross Family Foundation and a Blue Chip Foundation. Uh, they are they have put out this program, and some of you may have heard from it. I know it's starting to be dispersed in the schools. It's menstruation products that are new, high tech, and this may sound gross to some of you guys because it did to me. They are um, reusable period pads and period panties. And this foundation, it has made over 20,000, I believe, um, of these products available to the community for free. They purchase the products, they have it delivered. We unpack container loads of these products, and the DOE is has dispersed it to their students along with a program, a training program, educational program, and they have selected Kauai Papuana to be one of the agencies that will help distribute these products. And it's free. It comes with one box of five pads and one panty, all different sizes, all different styles. Now, as a male, I was like, well, who the hell is gonna reuse a pad? Or, but the objective here is to obviously save people money because it costs money. These pads, these disposable pads, and then it keeps them out of our landfill. Weirdly enough, a couple of weeks ago, I saw my first commercial on TV, national TV, um, of an ad for these types of products that were being sold at some high end store. So you will be seeing us, and I'll be putting out the schedule of where we'll be. Warren Haruki from Grow Farm, or former CEO of Grow Farm, retired, made a connection with us and the foundation, and they have graciously allowed us to utilize the Sunshine Market at Puhi to be a distribution point. So we'll be out there in the next couple of weeks to go ahead and start the process. But this is an amazing opportunity, and again, it goes back to community supporting. Oh my God, Kiala, OMG, Mel, it's been around for a few years. I am sorry, I just did not know, and it's very stylish. Some of these designs are very stylish, and we will be passing them out. And so I'll let you guys know if you guys are interested in getting some of these to maybe distribute to a group, or we're really gonna work hard. Every association has a bunch, and I know a couple of associations have committed to serving the homeless community. That was my plan, to get out and hit the homeless camps and get this out to them. And so yeah, it's I'm excited, and I think it's a way of the future. So DOE is doing them. Heard of menstrual cups? No, I have not. Keith, I learned something every day too. Women in Need will
Hey,
be
brother.
distributing in KCC.
So, a couple years back, we got involved with that Ma'i movement, right?
Correct.
They
Yes.
put together all the free products and took it. And the takeaway from that, what I learned is I did not know that that's how some students get bullied
Hmm.
because, when they start to go through the cycle and they're not prepared and they have one accident and from there they get bullied
Oh
throughout the
yeah.
entire school year.
Yeah.
So I find that these type of programs to help educate, to provide something for them that no young woman has, young girl has to go through that again. I didn't know, and it's pretty prevalent in a lot of the schools, and so it also teaches the bully that, hey, just imagine, guys, you guys making comments, right? Just imagine if you had that problem, would you like to be treated this way? It goes both ways.
Yeah.
So I think with all of this that's being done, the more the message can get out, the more we can start helping our young ones, especially the girls.
Yeah.
That you have an accident, and it's even like on car accident. I keep on telling if somebody went bang your car maliciously, then that's a crime, plain out crime. But you better have your facts for the premeditation, the motive of why you hit you. That's why we have insurances, because you get into an accident, and an accident is an accident, no matter how severe the thing looks. And
Yeah.
so is with these young girls. If they have an accident, just know that it's an accident, plain
Yeah.
and
It's
simple.
yeah, kids, students can be quite mean, and we know that. I mean,
Yeah.
I went off to Oahu for 2 years, my intermediate years, and it was rough. I mean, bullying was very it was common in Waipahu, where I went to, and it's a horrible feeling, and I can only imagine what it would feel like for a young girl, um, to start her period, uh, and and somebody saw, and
Hmm.
some boy saw, and some boy started to make fun, and that is traumatic. And so hopefully, that's why we
No, but
agreed.
right now with the internet, some of them are even mean to put it on the internet, on
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, back in the old days, they didn't have that, right?
Hmm.
But you got bullied. But now, to get cyber bullied, it's it's even worse. So the whole goal, and I'm glad you brought that up, Mel, is to get the word out that we have products that if they that they can use, then by all means,
And it's
let's
the
get it to them.
generosity of these foundations that are not even on Kauai, and they have a love for Kauai, and they want to help. Uh, Christine, the president is James McCann. Go ahead, because I'll forget. Just go ahead and message me, and I'll send you his contact information. Koloa had a rough year. We had some issues with Koloa in the last couple of years, so we basically restarted the league, got a new board. They did participate in flag football this year, and they're hoping to start the tackle football and the cheer this year. So yeah, sure. If you guys again any questions you have of Charlie, just shoot us a message, and we'll make sure we get you to the right place to answer any of your questions. That is anything on your mind.
Well,
But this
Mel's
is
going to do a lot better job in remembering because I'm purchasing Prevagen, right, by a year's supply because man, my I can be in front of this camera or even like on my regular meetings, and I go off the rails like, what was I just talking about?
yeah, I know. Hey, by the way, folks, my cup came in, man. My new cup.
Coconut oil.
It's water. It's water. It's not coffee because I'm trying to change my diet a little bit. Um, and by the way, I do have a website now. It's called the Coconut Wireless. It's called coconutwireless.net, and I got some little stuff up here that if you guys want to purchase, it's as cheap as I can make them. Obviously, I don't make them, but somebody prints it for me, and there's all kinds. I like this one right here. Pop up because I'm too cool to be called grandpa. And this one here, this for my daughter. Mom fuel. Oops. Hey, mom fuel because raising tiny humans is exhausting, as she's finding out right now. But there's some baby stuff. As you can see, I'm a proud grandpa. I get some baby onesies on there and a T-shirt, but and all kinds of cool stuff here. Um, just if you guys want to go browse it, I'll be adding more products, mugs and shirts and tumblers and all kinds of stuff. But
Right on, right
yeah,
on.
what the heck, man? What the heck?
Yeah.
Dana says cyberbullying and online safety is a huge problem. Please do a show on online safety. Good idea, Dana. Good idea. Um, we'll definitely do it. Definitely
But
do it.
Dana, you just let me know because I can curb that real fast, like what Honolulu have rolling blackouts so nobody get cyberbullying. No power,
Bruh,
folks.
how's that, man? Uh, so I'm watching the
No,
news
this is
tonight.
this is this is what fears me, because in Kaka'ako at one time, I think it was last year, they must have had this one building. First was the elevator, then they had the blackout. But you get these kupunas climbing up 20 plus stories. I'm like, what the heck is that? I said, get you like going on a weight program. Walk up and down 20 stories every day. Let me tell you.
No, but Charlie, this is what gets me. I mean, Hawaiian Electric, KIUC, all the utility companies. The guy says, "Well, it's our equipment is aging, and it's got to be replaced this year, and these things aren't cheap, and we got to go before the PUC commission." And what does that? They're gonna raise rates again, and is it the? I mean, I don't like upset the utility company because I like my lights, but yeah, piss off the water department or the electric department, right? Electric company. But why is it a burden on if you are up with your deferred maintenance, if you are up and with your equipment and maintaining your equipment and changing equipment when it should be changed, and you don't end up with this problem where you got to do rolling blackouts, and poor people gotta deal with it because you failed to maintain your system. We just run them till broke, and then we go to the PUC and we'll get an approval for a rate increase because we got to buy one new generator or whatever. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
Well, I've,
Look at
I've
look at
always
look
said
at
this.
my good friend Danny, my good Portuguese
Huh?
friend. Help, help, rolling blackout. I'm stuck on the escalator.
No, but I'm curious. When somebody had the bright idea of starting a utility company, right? But I think everything was short-sighted because as the population grew, as the demand got bigger, you had to expand. You have no choice, right? And it gets bigger and bigger, bigger. Now they're finding out with the solar grid, right?
Hmm.
That they don't think they have enough energy to push into the power lines.
Right.
Right? So I'm like, yeah, you just sold us on go green, and now you don't have enough power. I mean,
Yeah, go green. Buy an electric car, and when your battery die, you got to pay 12 grand or 15 grand for replace them. Go green.
exactly.
We don't know where to dispose of your battery. Go green. Go green. Let's get off of fuel. Now listen, I know the environmentalists going to hate me for this, but this is the reality. Today, Honolulu is living proof right now, right? They come out and said the wind generation went down. They didn't have wind. No more sun at night, folks. And if you know about the storage capacity, you this is what's going to happen, right? You get one generator go down, you don't have enough alternative energy supply to generate the electricity. Now you get rolling blackouts. It's crazy. It's crazy. And at some point we got to accept the fact that you know and they like go completely petroleum free. Your airplanes, your boats. Charlie, would you ride an airplane that was electric? Seriously. I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Sorry. KIUC does
I
a
would.
good job. I know Sherry is mentioning West Chow. West Chow, my good friend, he works at KIUC. I have absolutely no complaints about KIUC. They do a great job, and it's but when the fuel turbines, the petroleum turbines go down, and you hope you can rely on the grid, your solar grid or your wind turbine grid. No more enough. No more enough.
Well, I'm one of those YouTubers. I just love watching YouTube, and I'm always looking at um, conversion vans. Camping out in a van, or finding these individuals who likes to go up in the hills when it's snowing and camp out in the snow. And then from there, I got hooked on this old guy who's been living in the hills in, I think he's in the Carolinas, and he got a property and he made himself a turbine, from like hydroelectric,
Hmm.
and it's something very very small, and it causes the water to go into a circular motion that turns these blades that creates energy for him. And he says, that's all I've been living by. That's my energy. And this guy was like 85 years old. When I see that, my wife said, why are you crying for? Because you know what I was thinking? The day that poor man passes on, nobody going to know.
Yeah.
He's up there. A friend went to go do a YouTube, and I just hope and pray that friend go check on him every time. I mean, he seemed pretty strong, you know, but you can tell he's up there in years. But just to see how he had his lights set up, and he's a minimalist, very minimal. From his food, he has his own garden. He does his own composting. He does everything. But yet, I understand those who might say, Uncle Charlie, you know what you're talking about. Maybe you're right, because there are those that yearn for that kind of lifestyle. Me, I like to go through drive-throughs. Let me tell you. Okay.
Hey, Marlies, real quick. Yeah, talk to Chad about it. No, it's not. I mean, this is a directive that we put out here on Kauai, and yeah, check with Chad. Chad will be able to. I mean, again, it's going to come down to associations and leagues having to generate the funds to create these scholarship funds for the kids. But I think everybody should be doing that.
Mhm.
I wanted to also hear Melissa, our dear friend. Please, people with medical devices that require electricity, make sure you register at the HECO site. There's a form that your physician fills out, especially if you're on oxygen. I'm not sure about HECO's protocol to make sure patients with medical needs in these blackout areas, but please, anyway. Thank you, thank you, Melissa. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to put this
Perfect.
up again real quick.
Mhm.
February 17th. Again, go to my page. The Herbigs will be on Kauai to do camps for our kids. Free. It's absolutely free. They're giving back to our Kauai community. So please go ahead and check out my page for the registration form. It is free. Share that with everyone. I mean, I think it's on everybody's Facebook page that lives on Kauai. Everybody's sharing it. It's all over the place. Yeah, please go ahead and check that out. Check that out.
You know, there's another thing too that I wanted to mention. If I everyone who's watching tonight, you may or may not have done this, but you know, when you're driving around town and you see one lunch wagon, you know, that means that an individual took the time out to build out his wagon and he started to do his business, providing lunches or whatever the case may be. All I'm saying is please support local. I mean, God, I see huli huli chicken being turned on the side, down by the Veterans Hall. They have there's always a collection of trucks back there, and every little place I go, even though I don't eat as much as I used to, but it's kind of neat to see what kind of specials they're putting out for the day. And so I'm just a firm believer. I may buy a couple plates and give them away to others because I just enjoy supporting local all the way, 100%. So those
Yeah.
of you, if you get a chance, support these guys. I mean, they're trying real hard. Some of them have to do it to make ends meet.
Yeah, COVID created a lot of entrepreneurs, and I think that's part of the reason why we don't have people working or available people working because they had to. They started their own businesses out of the house, whether it's a food truck, whether it's baking, whether it's cooking, snacks, uh, homemade items. It's incredible, and we know a few stories of very successful people now that were forced to. Um, do something on their own from their home, and they've become
Yep.
very
Hmm.
successful. So yeah, everybody should support local wherever we're at, and if we can. Sometimes it's difficult because of the cost, and but if you can, if you're able to, there's so many local coffee shops. Go there before you go to Starbucks. They all taste the doggone same. Psychologically, we think Starbucks is the best coffee in the world, but uh, it's that's not necessarily the case, and you can get them cheaper locally. So yeah, support local. So,
Also, my brother, I may be stepping off the rails on this one because I am a contractor with the state, but I ask for everybody's support. We're looking at ways of building up our parking system down the airport. I know that's been a hot button topic for some time now. Not enough parking, and when we had the funding to go through with that, it got turned back because public outcry. More parking gonna be more tourists. Wrong. We got more residents flying out for going to the mainland, going to Honolulu for medical treatment, all of that. That's why it's sad that when our residents will take up going to Honolulu or to one of the islands for the weekend, like there's a concert, right? I get calls all the time, Uncle Charlie, how's the parking situation? Just know this, we're doing our darndest to try to see how we can improve that, build it up. Me personally, I would like to see a second story built. Whether it's feasible enough, there's some things that got to be looked at, such as um, the compaction of the soil underneath, where they can handle that much weight if we go vertical, right? But those are the kind of things that I want. Any improvements that we do at the hotel, please, please, people out there,
at the airport,
don't look
Charlie,
at
at
it.
the airport.
Yeah, at the airport. I'm sorry, at the airport. See what I mean with the private
Yeah,
jet? I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
that
You gotta take a double dose. Take a double dose.
when when we're looking at making improvements at the airport, the first thing that came to mind the last go around is they said, "Oh, more planes gonna come in." Ladies and gentlemen, the planes gonna come in whether we like it or not. My whole goal is we modernize our airport so we can bring the planes in safely. So you don't have to park out on the tarmac for 30 minutes waiting for a gate to open up so you can park the plane. You know that every single time a plane waits out there, there's a tendency of something going bad inside the plane, and we always get called. People, they take a long flight. They just want to get off the aircraft, right? But if there's no available gate, what do you do? They're in there. They ended up fighting on the plane or yelling at each other, that kind of stuff. So I just ask the people, if there's improvements to be made, let us get those improvements done, so that airport can be safe. I mean, have you taken a look at Kona Airport? I mean, they're really making it a comfortable place to visit, right? We are outdated, and I understand. But at the same tokens, what people don't realize, when flights are canceled and these people have no place to go, guess what? They stay at the airport. And we're talking about 200 to 300 people. They should have someplace comfortable to just stay in the morning until they can be put on another flight and get them out. They shouldn't be sitting on hard concrete or sleeping on hard concrete or chairs that just uncomfortable. That type of thing.
Yeah. Well, I think the state. I've been watching the legislative hearings, and I got your message, Sherry. And yeah, we'll definitely meet up before the session. The session is going to open very shortly. But the state is just watching this. We're messed up. We're messed up, and the state needs to understand. And I've shared this with my good friend Ed Sniffen, the director. He's a very good friend of mine. But we got to understand that the infrastructure on Kauai is not sufficient. And I'm talking about the highways. It's just not sufficient. And the state has no problem uh, pushing tourism, I think, is what my concern is. And I understand what you're saying, Charlie, about improving adding more gates doesn't mean more flights. I think what we have seen, right? The feds control the flights, right? The routes, the routes they give, and it's about the money, right? These airlines pay a lot of money to land at airports, and at some point the state's got to understand that, okay, we need to make sure that where these people are landing, that there's an infrastructure in place to accommodate that number. That's what we're seeing here on Kauai, and it's a shame. You're right. The local people that are trying to get to a doctor's appointment, they have no parking, and it's a lot. And I know that you guys have done a really good job about uh, the touros, but it's still happening. I mean, I see them. There's no way you can stop them all. There's just it's impossible to stop them all. And
Well, I got chastised because when we had that mass towing of vehicles, I mean, oh, what are you doing, this and that? But look now, Turo, from the corporate level, and we're good friends. I said, we're you can pick up the people, but just anybody that participating with your organization, please let them know you've got a parking system now up at Kukui Grove, right?
mhm,
That's Turo. But you got this other individual that blatantly came out and said, "Hey, you can't do nothing about it." Well, sorry, and the AG's office is getting involved because there's a big sign about um, conducting business on the airport
yeah,
footprint, right? So I said, okay, so hey, I told you so, so I'm just leaving it up at that point. But I just want to make sure that everybody's comfortable. Some people said, yeah, I got cited, but you see, what they don't realize is that now when we cite you, we take photos of your vehicle, and some of you are parking in such a dangerous manner. If you plug in up on lane, and should there be some kind of emergency in there, there's no way fire apparatus can get through. Some of you that are parking, you just decide to make your own lines, parking stalls right there. That kind of stuff. Have some compassion for others. If everybody got to follow the rules, even I gotta. And the prices are going up. Somebody asked about the prices. Yep, the prices are going up with uh, the the parking systems. And I, the previous individuals in my spot, they were given pretty much free parking. And then the moment I took over, I've been paying monthly. I got to pay monthly like all the rest of the employees. Now, I'm not talking about only the airlines. You've got like Sherry, you got the people that are working at the rental cars. They all got to pay. And what's sad about it is sometimes we even have employee parking stalls at the main lot taken away to open up additional space. for um, the residents using the lot, especially on the weekends when they're going to leave the islands to park their vehicles. So,
Yeah, and Lacey asked about the water infrastructure. That's gonna we're gonna have to do another show for that one. But yeah, that's always a big problem. And I did actually, Councilmember Cowden and myself did meet with the water department and the Commission on Water Use Management. So they are working on some plans that's going to come up on the council shortly, and we'll definitely try to do our best to inform and educate the public. We do appreciate you, Charlie, with your posts on Facebook about the situation at the parking lot. You do that frequently to let people know how many stalls we got left. And uh, I just have my brother take me to the airport, and I leave my car at his house because I don't want to take a chance. You get over there, you pull up, and you get the lot closed sign, and then you're stuck. So,
yeah.
I think it's just something that it's just one of those things we got to deal with right now until we. I don't really have a problem with increasing the size of the parking lot and putting a two-level parking structure. I think that would probably something we got to do. I just want to make sure that we're not doing anything that's going to increase the arrival count. The hotels and the airlines are in the state. They're all very happy because we're breaking records of visitor arrivals on Kauai, and with that comes a price. And unfortunately, the price is paid for by our local residents who got to get to work, who's got to get to the airport. Again, I think about the kupuna that's got to get to that airport to get on a flight and to go to a medical appointment, and they get stuck in traffic and they cannot make the flight. And so yeah, I mean, it's just we have been adapting to the changes, not by choice, and I think people are starting to get tired. And
Well,
that was
let me ask you something, brother. You know, and I leave this out for the people. You know, you're gonna come to this critical junction where you're gonna have to ask yourself, when is enough enough? We all saw firsthand when COVID hit, right? And we stopped all excess forms of income coming into Kauai, and boy, did it take a toll. Now, did we learn from that? Did we learn from that there are alternative means on how we can get, you know, sustain a way of life? You know, how can we provide many young couples, here have a mortgage? How do we pay for that if certain things are cut off? I think I would like to see if any lessons were learned. That's what I would really like to see, because that to me that is important,
I think
that
he's
they can
talking to you,
sustain.
Charlie. I think Tyson is talking to you. He said, "Well, you're not helping by being live online again. You're a global superstar, and more people are gonna come Kauai to try and get a glimpse of you in person." He is,
I love that, brother.
me too. We'll see how he feels after the Steelers win the Super Bowl, though. I mean, we'll see. I know, Charlie. We went beyond the hour, and we'll definitely have more of these. But I did want to, and I'm trying to be very careful about this because I don't want it to come across in the wrong way. But I need to share
Mhm.
something personal because I think God gave me as well as you a voice, and I honestly believe that nothing happens by accident. I think things happen in our
Mhm.
lives that put us on a direction that God has set for us. And we have had this blessing of the Mel and Charlie show, um, that we have the ability to raise awareness, raise information, or provide information and educate the public about things that are going on. I think we did a pretty good job of that, and I don't say that to brag. I'm just saying that because that's what you all have shared with us, and we appreciate you guys so much, the village. But um, you know, I take that responsibility. I really take that seriously because we are given an opportunity to share. So, I'm going to share something that is, I'm not sharing this because I want for sympathy or for any other reason other than to raise awareness on an issue that is quite serious. And I think, Charlie, my younger brother, my sister, and my older brother were all diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis. And my youngest brother was diagnosed probably 30 years ago. He was misdiagnosed for many years. Um, my older brother got diagnosed right before COVID. um, because he was suffering some symptoms. He too, um, uh, we found out, was misdiagnosed for many, many, many years. Because MS is a very difficult disease to diagnose. When my older brother got diagnosed right before COVID, my sister and I said, "Hey, we better go get tested," and we did. And my sister uh, was diagnosed right away. So three of the four of us were diagnosed with MS, which is extremely rare. Now, my condition was a little different because I had tested, and we had two neurologists, one here in Kauai, one at Queens, that couldn't agree. And one said, "No, Mel, those lesions in your brain is probably from your football days. This looks like scar tissue." And the neurologist on Kauai said, "Your family history is pretty strong. So, I would recommend you go to UCSF, which is in California, San Francisco." So I set up I think you remember this, Charlie. I set up the appointments in San Francisco, and then COVID hit, and we couldn't
Hmm.
fly. And
Right.
when we were able to fly, I rescheduled the appointments at San Francisco, and then UCSF had an outbreak of COVID, and they shut down the hospital, so I couldn't. And I kind of forgot about it. Well, several months ago, I decided to see if the referral was still valid, because I was starting to feel some numbness in my leg, and it wasn't anything bad, but it was just, I said, I don't know if I better go check it out. So praise God, the my referral was still good. It's good for 3 years. So I went back to UCSF and started the testing process. And unfortunately, or fortunate, however you want to look at it, I'm looking at it as a positive thing. Right before Christmas, we were at Honolulu Airport, um, getting ready for a connecting flight to get to Portland, and I get the call from the doctor that the test results came back, and I now am diagnosed with MS. That's four out of four of our siblings that got diagnosed. Again, I say this not to ask for sympathy. I'll take your prayers, but um, I say it because I want to raise awareness. I want to raise awareness that it's very difficult to diagnose. The symptoms mimic symptoms of a pinched nerve, or the fatigue. Hello, everybody's fatigued, everybody's tired, and the symptoms are so difficult to detect or to diagnose. So the only reason I'm doing this, I asked Patsy, I said, should I do this? And I don't want people to think, "Yeah, Mel, you're just looking for sympathy." I'm not at all. But we have my mom's sister's oldest son has MS. He was diagnosed about 7 years ago. I have a good friend that lives in Koloa, and I think many of you know. I'm not going to mention her name because I didn't ask permission. But we did her MS walk team. We've done that for many years, help raise money. So this year, after I got the news, while I was thinking about it, I said, I think I'll form my own team, and we'll call our Team 4 out of 4, because four of our four siblings got diagnosed with MS, which is extremely freaking rare. In fact, the UCSF doctors, I got an amazing team of doctors at UCSF and they're at Queens. In fact, my Queens neurologist is UCSF trained, so I am very comfortable with this team. They have never heard of this. They have never heard of a family where all siblings got diagnosed with MS. And it's not genetic. They cannot trace it to a gene. It's all these things that.
Hmm.
So we have agreed to be part of the research team, hoping that our case can help someone else, that they can detect it earlier by some blood tests or something, because it's not easy to diagnose. So um, I want to do this because I want to. Let me see if I can even put this on here. I'll put the link of my team page, because I want to help. I want to help others. I want to make sure that MS Society, um, they do a lot of work, and I'm very familiar with them because we have been involved with them for so many years because of my siblings. So they it's like all of them. We're close to a cure. Your dollar could find the cure. Well, I'm optimistic, but I understand it's not easy. But I feel like I was put in this position because of my ability to communicate with so many people, to raise the awareness. And that's why I decided, with Patsy's consent, uh, to go ahead and share. So thank you for your indulgence, man. I'm good. I mean, this is not going to stop
Well,
me from doing
let,
anything.
let, let, let me let me say one thing, brother. you were with me in my man when my brother, finally went. But I'm gonna be right here for you. And right now there is no cure, but we lead a healthy life, we live a prosperous life, and we don't let this alter your life in any way. I'm gonna be right here with you, brother. Okay? And I told you that when I used to perform on stage, and I tell people when we sing to them, and I told myself if I ever get hit with hard news on air, I promise I'm not gonna cry because one thing, me, I ugly when I cry, so I don't I don't want to be known as an ugly crier. But I love you, and the people out there love you, Mel. And you always gonna have that shoulder to lean on. You're always gonna have somebody that can throw you opinions if you're looking for it. But you always get that ear to listen, no matter what time of day. And just know that I love you, man. And yeah, we've been a lot with it. Coming on air, we've opened up our most deepest and inner souls, right, to the village out there. And we're going to continue to do that because that's just who we are. We're not fakes. We are known as the real deal. What you see, people, is what you get. And if you ask me a question, and if you think I'm going to give you an answer other than what you already know, don't get upset if I give you the hard scoops on my responses. You know, and so that's why I want my brother right now. It's painful, but we're right here, brother. Okay?
Well, I'm getting one allergy attack right now. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I got some damn allergy. These tears aren't sad tears because it's just the comments in you, Charlie. I just feel like there's a purpose and a reason. And my wife, Charlie, you know this, my kids, and I'm not concerned about MS. I can tell you, I'm not concerned at all about MS because my situation is a lot better than many others. The lesions that they found in 2019 has not progressed with the MRIs that they took in 2023. So I'm in a good place. um, but I feel obligated to share because I think there's a lot of people out there right now that may have some of these damn symptoms, and they're going to their doctors, and it's not the fault of the doctors. I mean, these guys aren't trained in MS. They're not. They're looking, and my brother was he was preparing to go to surgery to fuse his back, and the doctor, thank God, at Queen said, let us run some more tests, and that's how they found them. And so again, I'll take the prayers. I don't want the sympathy. I want people to understand that we gotta let people know that if you are suffering from these types of symptoms, the numbness, the tingling that you think, oh, I'm just getting old. Oh, it's from my old back injury from football or from my car accident. Go get it checked. Go get it checked, and let the doctor know. Um, what has occurred now is the doctors now are realizing that because it's such a rare thing to have more than one person in the family, right? I mean, they told us in the beginning it's very prominent in women. Well, I'm a male, my brother's a male, my other brother's a male, my first cousin is a male, uh my sister's female, but that's 4 out of 5. So I don't know, things change, research changes, but I just saying that if you have these types of symptoms that doctors are saying it's a pinched nerve or you slept wrong, or take the wallet out of your back pocket because that little extra bump in your butt can cause your spine to realign. And no, make sure you guys understand that it it could be something. So I again appreciate the indulgence, appreciate the comments. You guys make me cry. Again, it's not sad tears, it's happy tears and just love because
Well, I tell you right now, MS, it's you're gonna be okay.
you
The
know
MS I have is I have multiple Snickers, multiple Snickers. So if you want my MS, I'll give you some multiple Snickers the next time I see you for sure. But you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be
no,
all right.
again, I'm not, we had kind of expected it from 2019 when, and the confirmation was actually a relief. It really was. It sounds really sick, but it was. And it's also an opportunity for me to change my lifestyle. To start exercising more, eating more healthy. Charlie, you're gonna have to come on this diet with me, and we can just. The good thing is, as I was doing my research on diets, you know what is a good diet for MS?
Hmm.
The keto diet, which is all the fat, the steak.
Well,
Whew,
I
that
think
made me
the,
happy.
the diet I'm on now, it's pretty, it's serving itself. But I just, again, as you know, back in 2011, 2012, I had my open heart surgery, and what was discovered is that my diabetes was so bad, all my arteries was just drilled. Looked like somebody took a brush and just ripped everything up in there. And so I learned my lesson. So before, I think when we first started to do our show, I mean, we would go out eat at certain places, right? We was doing the thing with the eateries, right? But like even like now, it's very difficult for me to finish off one plate lunch. I cannot, and I try. I stay away from the rice. I might have a few bites and that's it. Um, the barbecue chicken, get four on a plate. I'll eat one. So as you know, we take care of our neighbor's little dog, the Jack Russell, and so even like people think we're crazy. My lovely wife and I will go eat at like Wranglers, and nowadays things are expensive, right? Knowing that we're not going to eat a lot, we can share a steak. We'll order two, just so she and I finish off one steak, but we bring the other one home for the neighbor's dog to feed the dog, and that's what we do, and I love it. And it's those are the kind of things that make me happy. That dog would. I mean, I don't know if you heard of Dr. Altamari.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when he passed on, his little dog just somehow made his way over to our place, and over the years we came attached. He's a really good neighborhood watchdog, and so and part of it is I'll go up and I'll order a lot of things, but I know I'm not going to eat all that. But again, it's to bring them for the dog. So yeah, I'm
Well,
doing good. I'm doing good right now.
I have a horrible eating disorder that I can be full to the gills, and if Patsy get left over, I'm gonna eat them. I don't know what it is. I never had this before. I asked Bernard, "How you lost all that weight, man?" Bernard looking really good, and Bernard Cavallo, and he said it's very simple. Instead of eating six lao laos, I eat one. The
Yeah,
portion
exactly.
control. Well, I have a disorder, so um, but my new direction is gonna have to I have to pay attention to diet and all of that, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a blessing in disguise, and
Hmm.
like I said, it's not gonna stop me from doing what I do. It's not gonna stop me from I again I'm blessed that it's not advanced, and we just gotta watch it very carefully. I go
Brother,
to
you don't you got to tell yourself, and I know you're doing this already. You don't succumb to the disease. You let the disease succumb to you. That's
I'll
why you
kick their
just
ass.
keep
I'm
on
gonna
doing.
kick
Yeah,
MS's ass. How's that? I'll kick
there
their
you
ass.
go. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
again, if we can use this platform, this vehicle to raise awareness, and we've done it for so many other people, and we continue to do it, and we'll continue to do it. Um, we it's just yeah, we'll get through this, and we'll, you know, for me, and I've always believed this, that my book has been written. Every page of it has already been written by the man above, and this stuff is beyond my control. Uh, and everything I do going forward is not me. It's the direction that I have been given, the instructions that I have been given. I just don't create them, right? I just do them. So I'm
Hmm.
excited, actually, uh, and looking forward to, again. You know, I'm gonna post my link up there. And again, I didn't do this to go ask for money, but I am. I like. I called my siblings and I said, "Hey, how about we name the team Team 4 out of 4?" And they all right away said, "Absolutely, absolutely." Uh,
Right on.
and
Right on.
and I think it's cool. 4 out of 4. I think it's so cool. But yeah, join our team, or if you can, contribute. It's a virtual walk, which is actually better. But I think you walk and you got to videotape it. I don't know yet, but it's new, and I think it's next month or something like that. So I'm kind of late in the game, but I'm gonna do my best to raise as much as I can for research, so that hopefully our case, like I said earlier, the research team at UCSF and the MS Society, the National MS Office. Hopefully, our situation will be able to help others, help doctors detect the genetic um, possibilities that right now they don't have. Because I don't know if this exists in any other family. I really don't, man. That's kind of, this is the deal, I'm really pissed off about this. Is that all of us? I mean, we all played a lottery, right? We all played a lottery, and the chances of 4 siblings out of 4 siblings getting MS, you get a better chance of winning the lottery, is what they say.
Mm.
That's crap,
Yep.
because I have never won a lottery. My brother has never won a lottery. My sister has never won a lottery. And my other brother hasn't. So I don't know. Maybe we just got to play more lotteries. I don't know. Maybe that's what we got to do. Yeah. Well,
Yep.
anyway, I appreciate you guys again, allowing me to share that very personal thing. And uh, I would never have done it if Patsy told me it wasn't a good idea. And Patsy has had my back from 1980 when we met. We've been together for a very long time, through ups and downs, and I would never do something unless I had her blessing. So I thank her for giving me the go ahead to share this very personal story. But again, hopefully we'll be able to help somebody um, get diagnosed, where otherwise they wouldn't. So mahalo, you guys. Love you guys so much, man. Love you guys so much.
Yep.
Charles.
Well, I like to say again, it's been an enjoyable evening for me. Even though I've been sick these last couple of days, but I'm just getting to that plateau where I think I rounded the corner. But wanted to end my night here with you, my brother. And like I said, I'll always be there for you. You started with me. You helped me walk through that dark valley at those times when I really didn't know what I was gonna do. But we came out and then we had a purpose. We had a purpose to carry on the village through those dark times in COVID. And now we're out of it. But then life goes on, and we have to, maneuver however we can to make every day worth living, make it a meaningful time. So to our family and friends out there who are watching, um, when Mel tells me that we'll be on the next time, then he'll post it and I'll be here. But like anything else, just whatever you folks do, I know get you all get good hearts out there. But just do me this favor, just always look to the person to the right or to the left, see if they need help, and if they do, go and help them. And to those people out there, the next time that I let you cut in, when I wave at you, you better wave back. If not, you'll get a mad Hawaiian tailgating you all the way to your destination. Thank you, brother Mel.
All
Love you, man.
right, man. Hey, love you too, man. Thank you so much, Charles. Thank you guys, the village. You guys make it so much easier for us to just deal with life. And I feel so much better now than I did when we started the show. And I apologize to Charlie. I didn't even tell him. No one really knows about this, so I apologize, Charlie. I probably should have warned you before we dropped the bomb. But I wasn't sure if I was even gonna say it or not. I felt like I needed to. So
Glad
take
you
care of
did. I'm
yourself,
glad you did.
Charles.
Yeah,
Go get some
I will.
meds. Melissa is saying go telehealth. And oh, real quick, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have HMSA, and if you go to the HMSA website, there is an online virtual urgent care. It's bizarre. You go on HMSA, you log in with your information, and you click on urgent care, and they get you a doctor within 10-15 minutes, and you do a televisit with a doctor right there in Honolulu. I don't think they make it known because I don't think they want people to use it, but you pay
I
for it.
did it. I did it the last time,
Okay, cool.
and it's bizarre. Yeah, it worked. Only thing is, my doctor, he had this shirt on that said Papa John's, so I don't know where the thing was being televised.
Well, so Charlie, I look okay. They tell me, okay, you have an appointment with Doctor So and So. So I Google him. And he comes out from North Carolina or South Carolina or whatever. I said, I don't want to talk to a doctor up there, but I was already in the queue. So he comes on, and there's this guy, looked like one surfer, and he in the back on his wall, got a huge surfboard. I said, excuse me, are you in North Carolina or wherever it was the Google said he was from? He said, no, man, I'm right here in Honolulu. I said, I just said Google your name, your medical thing, and it says you're from. He goes, nah, man, I moved here a long time ago. They haven't updated
Mm.
the thing. I said, okay, I feel better now. I feel better now. So, anyway, folks, again, we're gonna let you guys go. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys more than you know, and we will be in touch. And again, don't forget. Let me put this up real quick. Take your screenshot. Herbigs coming on February 17th. Go to my Facebook page. You'll see it's just scroll a couple of posts. You'll see it. Get the link. Share it with your the keiki in your lives, and try to get as many people there as possible. So with that, aloha, you guys. Love you all. Take care. God bless.
Aloha.